you rejoin us on the Outlook this morning. Of course, we've had a moment of looking at stories making the headlines in the national dailies. Now it's time to look at the topical issue for conversation this morning, and that will be centering on understanding financial and economic literacy, especially in the current situation in Nigeria. And joining us for the conversation is Professor Adegoke Ajiboye, Professor of Statistics from the University of Technology, Federal University of Technology, Akure, Futa. Thank you very much, Prof, for joining us. Good morning.
Thank you.
Now, let's start this way. Sometimes people will say we need to save for the rainy day. But then, if there's nothing to save, what then do you save? And then if there's also no rainy day coming ahead, how do you also know that you need to save? I think we start the conversation this way. What exactly is the importance of prudent spending in our daily life?
In fact, thank you very much, moderator. It is very, very important that we have to be frugal in our spending, particularly young people starting their career. It is important that they know how to manage their income.
Particularly young people starting their career.
Starting their career. No matter how small your salary may be, you must be able to set aside a small amount. For instance, if you are earning the minimum wage, 70,000, take it that your salary is not 70,000. Your salary is probably 65,000. 5,000, remove it at the beginning, immediately your salary is paid. Put it somewhere where you don't have immediate access to it. And if you are consistent, you are disciplined, and you limit your expenses, no matter how hard it is, to whatever is in your hand, at the end of the day, that 5,000 becomes something big. For instance, if you put 5,000 aside every month for 12 months, that will be 60,000. You pick it and use it to buy, for instance, shares, or you put it in mutual fund, or you can even use it to buy treasury bills. These are the strategies that workers can begin to adopt so that life can become easier for them.
Shares, treasury
bill, and mutual
funds. You expatiate on this in the course of the conversation. Okay. So then let's look at it. Why should, or for instance, what are the immediate investments that are reasonable enough that a new starter, like you said, a young person just starting his career, could dabble into, that such a person will not go into regret eventually? These are days of pseudo investment platforms. The days of CBEX still very fresh in the memory. Many other things like that, those the days of MMM were there, and so many other illegal and very terrible platforms like that. So what are the, without the risk of publicizing any platform, what are the legal, reasonable, profitable investments you think a young person could go into to secure better life?
Yeah, I've said it at the beginning. You see, the investments that are good for young people starting to work, and even people who have been working, first you can buy stocks, that is company shares. Company shares have their own risk, but not as risky as Ponzi schemes, particularly anything that is based on the internet. The risk is higher because you don't always have the full information about those schemes. They can advertise some fanciful things that will be attractive, but the real information behind those schemes are not always made open. But the stock market is known. It's controlled by the government. Though it has its own risk, but the risk is minimal. Now, if you put your money there, it grows with you as you grow in your career. That is the beauty of such investments.
It grows with you as you
As
grow in
you
your career.
That is why we advise young people as they are leaving the university, as they are beginning their work life, to take savings very, very seriously. You see, you can secure your future through your investment. You can also secure your future by engaging in entrepreneurship activities. The entrepreneurship activities may be what you do later in life, but as you are starting your career, if you are not from a wealthy home, you are not likely going to have enough capital to start a business. But there is nothing wrong if you already have an idea of the kind of business that you know you can run. If you have that idea, spend time to acquire knowledge about that business. Spend time to acquire skill about that business. Sometimes it might even require you volunteering or working free to get the type of skill or experience or knowledge you need to run such a business. And if you are the lucky type, you have relatives that have some money, or your parents are rich, you can take loans from them and start your business. But if you don't, as many of us don't come from wealthy homes, you have to pursue your dream by working, earn salary, and save.
Prof, sorry to cut in. You said something about being financially disciplined enough to save.
Yes.
But somebody mentioned the fact that given the economic reality we are in today, you discover that purchasing power is very high, and at the end of the day, what you are earning is nothing, given the reality of what we are going through, economically speaking. So how do you manage that kind of situation? Because probably you are earning 70,000 naira, and the load, financial load on you is even beyond that 70,000 naira. So how do you manage that kind of situation?
Very good.
Given the fact that there's nobody to support, you are just all alone. So what do you do in that case?
Yes, you have just stated you are earning 70,000. If you assume you are earning 60,000, your financial load is still above. I mean, if you assume you are earning 65,000, your financial load is still above that 65,000. You see, if your salary is minimum wage 70,000, your financial load is already above that 70,000. If you reduce it just a little bit, even if it is 33,000, any amount, just step it down. Assuming your salary is now 65,000, your financial need is still above 65,000. So why don't you just once and for all discipline yourself, remove that 5,000, put it in a traditionally in Yoruba land, we have what we call kolo or something like that. Put it there. You know, it's discipline, consistency, discipline. You see, don't look at the trend. Don't follow the trend in the society. Don't say you must buy expensive gadgets. No. That is one of the errors that our young people make. They buy expensive gadgets that don't earn them anything. It's just a fanciful thing that you carry around. Don't follow the fashion trend. You know, be frugal. Take care of yourself very well, but don't be too expensive. When you put such small amount of money aside, at the end of the year, go there, pick it. Don't use it to buy ashoebi. Don't use it for party. No. Don't use it to buy the latest iPhone. Such money should be invested. It is the money that will be working for you when you are sleeping, when you are resting, when it appears you are not doing anything. But the money is there, doing the work for you. So if you collect 60,000 at the end of the year, take it to one of these investment companies, banks. You know, many of them have mutual funds, and the mutual funds have good return. You can also get stockbrokers who will help you to buy shares. The shares, the value of your investment will be growing with you. Also, there is what we call the federal government treasury bill. Treasury bill has very good returns. You can put your money there, and as you are sleeping, the money is working for you.
Okay, Prof, thank you for that. You made mention of the fact that it is terribly wrong. There's this lack of financial discipline to invest so much on phones that is not bringing returns. You know, that's the generation we belong to as we speak. So what do you think can be done to recalibrate the orientation of this present generation to embrace the principle of financial discipline?
Yeah.
What can be done? Because, like, for instance, myself now, I don't see me investing so much on phones, like ₦1 million on phone. And probably that device must be willing to be my PA, do the job of PA, probably do everything for me. So what do you think can be done in terms of a reorientation to win this particular generation to embrace this concept of financial discipline?
Yes, what can be done, I will say, probably in two parts.
Okay.
The first part is on the part of the parents. Because our educational institutions don't teach financial literacy. We go to school, nobody taught us how to manage our salary when you start working. It's still the same thing up to now. Our educational institutions don't teach us. So the work, the major aspect of the work will be with the parents. The parents must take time to instruct their children on how to manage their finances as they are starting their work careers. We have to be proactive. We have to teach them. We should not just assume that they will know how to manage their money. We shouldn't make that assumption. We should instruct them, tell them. You see, if you are not into content creation and things like that, what do you want to do with expensive phone?
And it's not bringing returns.
It's not bringing any return to you. What do you want to do with it? All you need with phone is to receive message, make a call and receive call. So why should you go and spend a lot of money on it? And you don't have to be fashionable. You don't have to follow the fashion trend. Spend your money buying expensive clothes. For what? For what purpose? Who do you want to impress with your appearance? You know, be frugal as much as possible, as I have said. Shun those expensive lifestyle and don't avoid distraction. Most of the time, youths get distracted, maybe by fanciful things around us, pleasure and all those things. You will have time for all these things when you are financially stable. But as you are beginning, make sure that you set money aside and live within your means. If you are consistent, saving small amount, it will amount to something significant at the end of the year, which you can invest. Also, if you are the entrepreneurial type, you have the mind to start a business of your own. That is also one way by which you can start. When you put this money aside, you have a target. Maybe I'm going to work and earn salary for the next 5 years or for the next 10 years of my life. I will save and then start so business. That way, you'll be able to have the seed capital. If you're able to have the seed capital and you start the basic things you need to do in your line of business, you can approach financial organizations to support you. But within this period, ensure that you maintain your integrity. Character is very important in a man's life. We should not put aside the place of character. You can hardly succeed well if you don't have good character. Be trustworthy, be honest, and build a reputation that can speak for you. No matter how small the level where you are working, start building your reputation from that level. It is one day speak for you.
Thank you very much. Now let's look at this conversation on another plane. We've been talking about individual life, maintaining fiscal discipline and responsibility. Looking at the governance atmosphere in Nigeria, to what extent would you say that there is financial literacy, economic discipline in the way and manner Nigeria is currently governed, perhaps also how it's been governed in the past? How exactly do you think we could get a better deal of economic literacy at the corridor of power?
Well, thank you. The governments in Nigeria, starting from the military era up to this era, they have not impressed Nigeria because the way they have been managing our economy is total disappointment to us. If you remember, Nigerians always complain about their quality of life under each of these governments, up to the present government. So what we are experiencing now, we have been experiencing it. The reason why the noise might be higher now is because of the twin policy of the present administration of subsidy removal and floating of the naira. These are pills that probably as a nation we need to swallow these pills. But the fallout of this pill is the problem. How is the government managing it? Prices went up, there is high inflation, but government has been struggling with the inflation by freezing wages. To me, I think that is not the right way to go. If you look at the inflation we are experiencing presently, the inflation was caused by production. Prices of items went up as a result of subsidy removal and naira floating. It is not excess money pursuing fewer goods, as we are taught in secondary school economics or something like that. If you have a study like that, where your inflation, that is the classical definition of inflation. You know, a lot of money pursuing fewer goods, the prices will go up. But in this case, we can associate this high cost of goods to the production aspect of the economy. Take food, for instance. Farmers produce at high cost. You cannot ask them to come and sell because it is food at low cost. It's not possible. So what should we do? As a result of this, the middle class has been wiped out. If the middle class does not exist, the economy will go down. Because the middle class is the engine room of the economy. They are the ones that buy cars. They are the ones that build houses. If you build house, carpenters will work, bricklayers will work, mechanics will earn their living, and so on and so forth. That's how the economy rolls on. So what the government should do is to put more money in the hand of the middle class. That is, substantially increase their salary. We need a new equilibrium in the economy. Prices are high, purchasing power has gone down. We need the people to be able to buy these goods. You raise their purchasing power and create a new equilibrium. This equilibrium is such that prices will never go down to what it was before, but the people will be able to afford it. That way, economic activities will continue to roll on again.
How is that possible, Pro? Especially in an economy that's not productive but consuming.
We are the ones that will make it productive. You see, the problem of our economy is that it is narrow. The base is too narrow. So it is the responsibility of the government to expand the base. And that is where the problem is. The government in Nigeria has adopted the principle of government has no business in business. To me, personally, I think that is wrong. There is nowhere in the world where foreigners will come and expand your economy for you. You are the one that will expand it. They can come and invest and help you to drive the vertical growth of the economy.
So government must have business in doing
They
business.
have to. When I was young, government used to establish industries. But suddenly we stop. Now, if you look, take China, for instance, there is what the Chinese call the commercialized public enterprises. They are public enterprises that are commercialized. That is, you have to make profit and sustain yourself. But they were established by the government. They use that to expand their economy. Look at the economy of China today. Our government need to go back to that principle again. If, take for instance, the agro sector or the transport sector, these are areas where we need to expand. If you have expanded agro sector, in our state here in Ondo State, our land is capable of supporting crops, different kinds of crops. We have the cocoa plantations, we can help farmers to expand that. We have fruits like orange, pineapple. These are areas where secondary industries can spring up, producing concentrates that we use and even export. But you see, no foreigner will come and do it for us. We are the ones that will open up these areas for investment. We do see government distributing seedlings and others. That is not enough. They have to step in a comprehensive manner and establish plantations. You travel to other countries, particularly in Europe, you see kilometers of fruit farms. When you produce fruit at that level, other industries like that will process such things into concentrate will spring up. Naturally, they will just come up. But the way we are running our agri-sector at the peasant level is not going to help our economy. The same thing goes with the transport sector. The transport sector is a multi-billion naira daily business. But you realize that our graduates don't work there because the structure is wrong. You realize that it does not support credit because the structure is wrong. Financial institutions don't invest there. But it's one of the biggest sectors of the economy. Transport. Road transport, roads transport is one of the biggest sectors of the economy. Financial institutions don't invest there. It has a wrong structure. We produce, the state spend a lot of money to produce graduates, send our children to university and all those things at very expensive cost to the state. They come out, they have no job. Because most of the sectors of our economy are poorly structured. They do not accommodate high-level management personnel.
But Prof, we don't build something on nothing. Don't you think there's also the need to recalibrate our curriculum in the education sector? Because if you're talking about turning out graduates who are becoming job seekers rather than job creators, quote unquote, then something is really wrong with our education curriculum.
I don't agree with you. You see, the curriculum we are running is not outdated.
Or is it productive? Even if it's not outdated,
of course it is.
It's one thing for it to be
You see,
updated, but
there are two aspects.
productive.
There are two aspects of our work in the university system. We are teaching them skill, and we are teaching them. We are building their mind. We are building the mind of these children, and we are also giving them skills that they can use. Irrespective of the course that you study, if your mind is well built, you can perform at any level, anywhere. Are you following me?
Very well.
So the problem is not primarily curriculum. The problem is primarily restructuring the different sectors of our economy to accommodate them.
All right, Prof. The problem is not our curriculum. The problem is structuring our economy to accommodate them. That will be the fulcrum of our conversation when we return from this break. Please stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back.
The MTN Mega Billion promo is here. Dial star 900 hash and recharge 100 naira or more before 5 p.m. and you could be a millionaire. At 7 p.m., all cash prizes will be paid directly into your Momo account. Dial star 900 hash. Start recharging now and stand a chance to win big in the MTN Mega Billion promo.
Oh, remember how mom used to wake up before everybody to make breakfast, iron our uniform, and surprise that woman with something special.
Reward your mom with a trip to Zanzibar in the 2025 Three Crowns Mom of the Year competition. Write a note using each letter in your mom's name and submit with any of these on our website or at any of our collection centers. T's and C's apply. 3 Crowns Milk. Healthy moms, happy families.
Some say learning is fun, but as a mom, I see how demanding it can be for my child. That's why I ensure he starts every day with a cup of Bonvita. Give your child Bonvita. It contains essential vitamins and minerals that support mental and physical vitality. Bonvita. Prepare them to win every day.
Welcome back, everyone. We're still discussing financial and economic literacy in an economic downturn so as to be able to make a better living. Still very much with us is Professor Adepoke Ajiboye from the Federal University of Technology, Akure. Thank you so much, Prof, for being with us. We were discussing the issue of the problem not being with the curriculum, but with retooling the economy to be able to accommodate as many graduates as we turn out year in, year out. How then do we retool the economy to be able to do this?
Thank you very much. Let's look at the transport, the road transport sector. Use that as an example. You see that this is a sector that generates huge income on a daily basis. If we have a good structure in the road transport system, you will see that the cost of transportation will go down. Many of the middle class people, now that are still fueling their cars to office, can easily take a bus to their office, which will reduce the amount they spend on transportation. Now, aside from that, you will see that with a good structure, they will need management level employee. They will need accountants. They will need high level security system. Then they will also be accountable to the state. Because many of the small transporters, many of them break our laws anyhow. They don't even obey the law. But if you are using corporate level transport system, they can be held accountable. And in addition to that, taxation will be easy. Government will be able to raise a lot of money from this sector. A lot of money will come to government from this sector. So it is vitally important that government look in that direction. It's part of the ways by which government can expand the base of the economy. Also, industry will spring up to produce comfortable vehicles, buses. If we are traveling from here to Lagos, look at the type of bus we join, or from here to Ibadan, look at the type of bus we join. Very rickety, uncomfortable. So many of us are forced to always put our cars on the road. And the fuel consumption in the country will go down drastically. It's because everybody is on the road driving cars. That is why we require millions of liters of petrol every day. a good number of us are not driving their cars on the road every day. We save a substantial quantity of fuel. So it's important that we reform these areas of our economy. You know.
Okay, Prof, speaking of reforming our economy, I want us to also touch on the population, explosive population in our country today. And I want you to use this analysis as a basis for this discussion. In 1960, the population of UK, when Nigeria gained independence, was about 52 million. Nigeria was then about 45 million. And now 2025, UK is just about 69 million with just 33% increase. But Nigeria is having a very explosive population. I think we are 239 million with increase of over 400%. So what does that speak concerning our economy? Does that suggest that our resources is limited and our infrastructures are not enough to go around? What is the impact of that explosive population on our economy?
You see, at this level of our development, that population is not out of place.
It's normal.
It's normal. The problem of the economy is the base, as I said. This economy is too narrow to cater for over 200 million people. We need to expand it. It's the government that will do it. You see, we are not yet overpopulated in this country. We have vast arable land, very big land. We have resources, mineral resources. If we focus on developing our people and expanding our economic base, we will not be stressed up economically. Now, if you look at the advanced countries, they are having difficulties in the labor aspect of their economy because of the low birth rate. We are not faced with such a thing now. We have our people who are ready to work if they are assisted, you know.
And even as a matter of fact, China is doing it. China is the second largest, it has the second largest population, and the economy
yes,
is
the economy is
rolling.
It's doing well. You see, what we need to do is to expand the base of our economy. It's the government that will do it. Our government should wake up, particularly at the state level. They are not doing well enough. They should focus on the economy. States are not doing very well when it comes to the area of economic development. It's the federal government that is making effort. The states are not doing well at all. So they need to wake up and start working on the economy. If you want a prosperous nation, the people must prosper. Let's build our economy from the base up. Don't start building it at the top and think that it will trickle down. No, let's build our people up, educate them, provide opportunities for them to work, expand the base of the economy. Let the middle class continue to grow. Don't shrink it. Anything that will shrink the middle class, avoid it. Then the economy will roll on. So I would suggest to government that they should substantially increase salary and bring back the middle class, and they should expand the base of the economy. That is the reason we elected them.
Okay, so, Prof, well, I want us to also talk about the concept of our productive economy, how productive it is, given the fact that some of the actors, particularly the masses, I want us to actually talk about over-religiosity of our people. The concept of, giving too much attention to religion in the name of faith, to the detriment of our economy, when people should be involved in productive activities. They are there in churches, mosques, doing, worshiping and stuff like that. So, what is the impact? How do we, manage these and recalibrate the mindset of our people on the need to be more productive on the field than being in religious worship centers?
You see, the explosion we witness presently in the area of religion is as a result of poor economy. People are feeling hopeless. So they need to get hope somewhere. So they run to God to give them hope.
Miracle money.
Yes, miracle money and all those things. But if we begin to see significant improvement in our economy, all those things will disappear. The rush you are seeing in the churches, they will disappear. The people going to pray all the time will disappear. So the economy plays vital role in the social cohesion of the society. If you can manage to improve our economy, the emphasis people are placing on religion will begin to go down. That is the trick.
Thank you very much, Professor Adegoke. I think very many people must have also picked one or two things to better their lives, especially in terms of financial and economic literacy. What very, very profound is what government itself must do in enhancing the economy of the country. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you.
Everyone, thank you so much for being a part of this outlook. It's been an engaging moment looking at how to better our personal and national life as a people. We've been engaging Professor Adegoke, Professor of Statistics from the Federal University of Technology, Akure. Thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of it. I am Sunday Konawale from my colleague, Alex.
Thank you so much for being a part of the show. We return next week with another exciting edition. Until then, do enjoy the rest of the week. Alex Adejo is my name. Goodbye for now.
From the humble, impoverished inner city dwellings of Lagos, it's amazing how millions of people can still find a reason to smile.
My name is Oshiko Magba.